For those of you who haven't met me, I'm Sarah Klesko. I'm a national marketing director with the company, and I'm also a certified holistic nutritional consultant. My background is really working with women who have IBS, and I love being able to share these simple solutions that we have here with JuicePlus. Today, I'm going to focus on sharing about Luminate, specifically how it ties into our already amazing product line, to give you some more confidence around sharing it and taking it yourself. So this is my why here. This is my chaos. This is what makes me require all of the plant powders and everything that JuicePlus has to offer, and why Luminate helps so much. So I have a 10-year-old boy in hockey and many different activities keeping me busy. And then I've got a daughter who is 8. I also have some fur babies. My dog Mookie last year, had quite a health scare and ate a toy that we ended up needing to get obstruction surgery. So kept us on our toes that way. And then a senior cat, 19, you wouldn't know he's 19, who's really the boss of the household. So that's my why. I've been taking JuicePlus for over 20 years, which is crazy. It's been a core part of my health foundations and my life. And I love that my kids have grown up with this since my pregnancy. They've had that nutrition in their bodies every day. We've had these tools to help them get, more fruits and veggies, more protein. I've had all of that amazing tools in my tool belt as a mom. So, whatever brought us here, I bet we can all agree that we're here because we're here to spread good health. Maybe that's meaningful for ourselves. For some reason, often we get excited about health because maybe we lost it at some point. Maybe we went through our own hardship with health, or someone close to us did. And, that usually springs people into action with this. But that's really what we're about. We're about experiencing the best level of health and helping others access the best level of health in a way that makes sense, that's realistic to their lifestyle. Life is busy. Our core objective here is really to get more plants into people and more fruits and vegetables. We're supposed to have half our plate fruits and veggies. We know that that's not happening, but it's really important for getting the right micronutrition that gives us that clean cleanse every single day and supports our organ cells and tissues. And we have that with the solution of JuicePlus. And while there are many different products and vitamins and things on the market, nature really cannot be duplicated. Whole foods are very complex, and how that integrates into our body is very complex. And the things that are man-made just do not compare. We're talking about a multivitamin with 13 different vitamins and minerals on a label versus plants, even one apple, 10,000 phytonutrients that work in synergy that your body recognizes, know what to do with. So with our JuicePlus, we have over 30 different fruits, veggies, and berries. That alone is amazing. And I think some of us who have been around for a while can really forget this. But think about this. Every single day, we are getting kale, parsley, beets, acerola cherries, elderberries, every single day into your bloodstream. And not only are those all filled with different types of phytonutrients, so enzymes, polyphenols, antioxidants that support your cells, also, we know from some really cool science that's been done that our body can actually create different polyphenols that aren't even in the product because of this beautiful synergy of action that happens when we take it. So we're really about bridging the gap, right? And quality. This is what keeps me here. This is what has kept me here in my professional life, because we are committed to quality. From the moment that, it's the soil. It starts with the soil. The soil has to be nutrient dense. The growing practices are better than organic. That is a standard we have for our farmers. It is tested from seed to capsule 7 times. Making sure for purity, making sure for nutrient density. And that's something we don't find. That's something that is very unique for anything in the supplement industry, to have that type of quality. Our research is really the foundation of how we can go out there and share, how I can go out there and share not only my experience on the product, but also that someone who has a totally different biochemistry is going to experience good things, if not outwardly, inside. And that's what matters. So we have over 40 independent peer-reviewed scientific publications that show the benefits of JuicePlus. I don't know that people know this, but a lot of those studies, we've got a good amount of studies that are completely independent, not funded by JuicePlus, done by other faculties who had interest in what is going on here, and they completely took it. And so some of these results are quite amazing. I think the most important one is we know it's bioavailable, which means that it's actually absorbed in the body, because a lot of things aren't. A lot of things, we take it, but it just comes out and it's not integrated in the body because your body doesn't know what to do with it or how to recognize it. So that's really important. We know that it supports immune function. We know that it helps to protect DNA against oxidation, which helps the aging process, dental health, cardiovascular, lung, metabolic health, gut health. We know that taking the omegas does increase your omega-3 index. This is all good stuff to know, because if we're investing in our health, if we're taking something every single day, you need to know that it's safe and that it's actually doing something in your body, and it's a good investment. Our Healthy Starts program is incredible. And if you don't know much about this, it requires that the adult is the role model, taking the product, showing the way, and then the child gets it for free. You can get it for free all the way from 4 years old to 25 years old. That is amazing. All through child development, college student, a child can get it for free that entire time as long as there's an adult role model. And I know a lot of parents who will do things for their kids before they'll ever do it for themselves. But this flips that story because kids are actually going to do what you do. They're not going to do what you tell them to do. They're going to do what you do. So it forces the parent to invest in their own health first. And that's what I love. And people do experience really meaningful outcomes from taking the product. They're eating less fast food. They're eating more of the real fruits and veggies, drinking more water. And there's a scientific reason for that. It's called metabolic reprogramming. So if you've ever noticed, if you're in a rut with your food and you're eating lots of sugar, you crave more sugar. If you're getting fruits and veggies into your blood every day, you actually crave more of that. The body's like, yes, more of that, please. So that's a really fun thing to experience. Missing less school days. That means mom and dad missing less work days. That is huge and such a smart investment. So our Complete, I really love our Complete. You know, there's a lot of shakes out there and things are so accessible now. You can just click it, put it in your cart, try it. Nothing compares to the quality of what we have with Complete. And not just the quality, but the taste. Ever tried to make protein balls with a different protein powder? It's really hit or miss. It can ruin the entire recipe. I love that our Complete is just so smooth. It's such a nice flavor, whether it's in a smoothie or you're using it in baking. It adds to the flavor, does not take away from it. And that's just because we're using whole food ingredients. It's not a ton of chemicals. There's not artificial sweeteners that have those weird tastes. So what I really love about our Complete is the prebiotic fibers. And I really believe this is why people feel so good when they take them, because you're actually resetting your microbiome. You're feeding the good bacteria of your gut. So that's going to help you stabilize your blood sugar, reduce cravings. And I share this with my kids. It's such a great way to get more fiber and protein into them. We do a lot of different things with it. We make chocolate yogurt. So we'll do the chocolate Complete and like Greek yogurt. And that's like 20 to 30 grams of protein right there for my little athletes. That's so key because you know what? Not all kids like to eat meat. And it's such a nice tool to have as a mom. And now we've got our cacao. And I really do love our cacao. To me, this is like nature's multi-mineral. It's a superfood. So this is a great source of things like magnesium, zinc, iron. It is just pure cacao. And it's really different from conventional chocolate or conventional cacao, not just in the quality and processing, because what ours is basically the cocoa bean fermented, sun-dried, beautiful process, but also the ethical standards of how it is grown. Because in the chocolate world, in the cacao world, whether or not it's organic, there's a lot of problems with child labor and unfair paid labor. And that doesn't happen with our products. We are committed to ethical standards. And so that alone is enough for me to choose JuicePlus cacao. If you haven't tried it yet, it melts. You can use it just like any other chocolate or chocolate chips recipes. You can add your own sweetener or not. You get to choose what goes in there. I choose to add a little bit of honey, a little bit of maple syrup. That's what I like to use. But you can use whatever sweetener that you want and control that for your kids, for yourself. You can have it as a warm elixir, and it is ceremonial grade. It is an amazing heart opener. And you can also put that on ice and have it as like a kind of iced coffee replacement. I really enjoy that. But this is supporting the body, mind, and soul with our products. So we have our JuicePlus Essentials and Complete, which really support our biochemistry and our body. Cacao is also supporting our body, but that's like our soul food. And then now we have Luminate, which is really targeting our mind and our brain. So I want to talk a little bit about this because most people are starting their day with caffeine. Most people might have more than one. And there's a lot of people who are having multiple coffees or caffeine products in a day in order to just feel alert. That's not okay. That's not healthy. It's not helping anyone. We love coffee, okay? Everyone loves coffee. I don't drink it because I'm very caffeine sensitive, but I can take Luminate. So a lot of people are struggling with fatigue. A lot of people are struggling with mental fog. And so there's a huge opportunity where people need a solution that's going to be better. And so why is it important to support our brain when we're thinking about these types of things? Every organ in your body is connected to the one under your hat, your brain, through your nervous system. So your nervous system connects to your cardiovascular system to regulate your heart rate. It connects to your hormonal system, which helps your stress response. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Every single function going on in your body depends on a healthy functioning nervous system and brain. And what happens when we aren't supporting our brain, or maybe signs that maybe there needs to be some more support or some really common disorders. So feeling anxious, feeling depressed, IBS is considered a brain disorder because of that strong connection between gut and brain. And brain fog, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. So we really do want to think proactively when it comes to fueling our brain and thinking about long term, like how are we protecting our cognitive ability from decline and things like that. So we we are so fortunate we can, use Luminate as a tool to support our brain health. And it's targeted to support mental clarity, focus, and energy. So you can just make more out of your day. It checks all the boxes, vegan, gluten-free, kosher, and it has our NSF certification. So that third-party independent certification that all of our products have to maintain the quality and the purity. It has no GMO ingredients, and the ingredients that are in it have been selected and tested to work together in synergy, much like our capsules do. And I have taken some of these different mushrooms and herbs on their own. I've never experienced the effects that I feel when I take it all together as a part of Luminate. So that's something really interesting to think about. So these are different herbs, adaptogenic mushrooms, as well as coffee, berry, fruit. And I just want to touch on that because, as I mentioned, I'm caffeine sensitive. I can't really have caffeine on a daily basis without feeling negative effects. I feel differently with JuicePlus Luminate. So there is a difference between the synthetic caffeine or the coffee that we get versus the green caffeine that is the whole coffee fruit in JuicePlus Luminate. So this is just a demonstration of that difference. Coffee is going to be that coffee bean taken and then roasted at high temperatures. So anything that was in that coffee fruit, we're not getting that whole compound. It's the same thing we do for our fruits and vegetables in the capsule. If you didn't know, we take the whole fruit and veggie because there's a lot of nutrients in the stems, pits, skins that goes in. And we wouldn't necessarily get if we weren't taking JuicePlus. Same thing with the coffee fruit here. So it's the entire coffee fruit. It has the antioxidants, it has the polyphenols, and people find a different experience with the whole coffee fruit. We still get that stimulant type of feeling, that level of focus. We don't necessarily get that crash. I haven't experienced that at all with JuicePlus Luminate. We don't get the jitters. We don't get the stomach issues that can happen with coffee, some of us. And then when we talk about adaptogens, what you want to think about when we think about adaptogens is that it helps your body adapt to stress. So it interacts with your HPA axis. I'll talk about that in a second, but basically it's going to help regulate your stress hormones and that process of how you're managing stress. The cool thing about taking adaptogens is that those benefits compound over time. So the more you're taking it, the more it actually helps that stress adaptation. So our nervous system is basically helping us interpret our environment and that sensory input. And we have two reactions that our nervous system will make, either fight or flight or rest and digest. So fight or flight is that sympathetic nervous system response where our heart rate's increased, our digestion is put on hold, it's not working. We don't need to, when we're running from a bear, worry about our digestion in that moment. We need to worry about being able to run fast, being able to punch, and use our strength. Parasympathetic, our rest and digest. We need that too. We need to be able to calm down. We need to be able to digest properly and have that repair. So adaptogens help this process. And no matter the cause of the stress, whether it's emotional stress or financial stress or a physical trauma, negative thinking, toxins we're putting into our body through processed foods or coming in our environment, all of that to your nervous system equals a bear in front of you that you need to fight against or run from. And your nervous system is going to react in the same way. So as you can imagine, this can be very taxing. So this is our HPA axis. This is our hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal glands. And the way that I think about this is like a heating system. So your hypothalamus is the thermostats taking the temperature. So that sensory input comes in, there's a bear. The hypothalamus tells the pituitary, there's stress here. Pituitary relays that to the adrenals or the furnace, and the adrenals are going to create heat, cortisol, okay? And in a functioning nervous system, that heat turns off, the furnace turns off at a certain point when there's enough heat made. But when there is continual stress coming in from all avenues, and I know we all have it on all different directions, that can lead to dysfunction. That can lead to the adrenals not stopping the cortisol. It doesn't stop. So it's called a negative feedback loop that makes that stop. And adaptogens actually help make sure that negative feedback loop turns on so that the cortisol can be shut off when needed, when we have enough. And again, that process over time is better the longer that those adaptogens are being intaken. On the other hand, we have the nootropics. So you've probably heard this word. And these are basically our brain supporters. These are brain boosters, cognitive enhancers that improve things like memory, attention, focus. And again, there are long-term benefits, including neuroprotection, protecting against cognitive decline, brain plasticity. So as we're responding to stress in our environment, we need to fuel our brains, right? And we can do that a lot of ways with food. And there are some nootropics that are found in food, but they're going to be more potent in herbs. And so there are certain nootropics that increase blood supply to the brain. There's certain nootropics that increase cellular energy, ATP. That's really important. So our food is like the paycheck, but ATP, it needs to convert to ATP to be cash, to be usable cash in the body. So nootropics can help that process of creating that cellular energy, that free-flowing cash that our body can now use and have benefits from. So really, when we're taking Luminate, maybe that gives you a bit of understanding about why you feel so good. But basically, if you haven't tried it, this is what people will notice. Better energy, reduced fatigue. It promotes endurance. So whether you're working out, you can have it before a workout instead of a pre-workout. I think it's a great natural way to do that. And so you can just make more of your day, right? That's the life benefit. In a study done, 91% of people taking JuicePlus Luminate felt it had a positive impact on their day. That says it right there. People are not feeling the same jitters. They're feeling it's gentler on their stomach more than a coffee and feeling less mentally tired. So there's a real solution here. What I love about JuicePlus Luminate is that people can feel an immediate result within an hour. I usually feel it within about 20 minutes where I just feel this calm, focus, and energy lift, but not in a jittery, weird way that I'm going to crash later. And so how does it compare though to other different brain supplements on the market or different energy drink compounds types of things? Is that rapid action really is key. And the fact that we are using nootropics and adaptogens to create those benefits. It's vegan, there's no synthetic ingredients, they're ingredients from nature. So that sets us apart. And we're using the whole coffee fruit. I don't know another product that is doing that. It's low calorie, so 40 calories or less per serving and only 2.5 grams or less of sugar. It tastes really pleasant. It's something I look forward to drinking. You can have it warm or cold. I prefer it cold. And then the caffeine is 100 milligrams or less per serving. So that's what's setting us apart. And the best way to share this is to experience it yourself and share it with others. It's really easy to share online, offline, sharing it with a friend. I always tell people, I'm like, here, you need to try this. Take this when you're feeling stressed or you're having a low energy day. Like it's going to lift you right up. And then follow up with them, like Loretta said. So really, when I started this business, I was 27 years old. I came to a conference. I had been a customer for 7 years, enjoying the benefits by myself, not telling anyone about the product. And what I heard at that conference is like, wow, a lot of people I know could benefit from taking JuicePlus. A lot of people could benefit. And this can be a vehicle for myself, for my family, to be able to be more present, to have more time flexibility. And it really has allowed just sharing the product, sharing my story, getting out of my comfort zone and thinking outside of myself and more on the person in front of me and, how I might be able to serve them. That allowed me to stay home with my kids when they were little. That allowed me to have the security of a benefits package, even though I'm self-employed. And none of that, like I'm an introvert too. I'm not a super extrovert out there, but I listen. And when I hear someone is struggling, I want to help. And maybe that is in you too, that helper's heart. That's usually the type of people that we attract. So just ask yourself, what if I shared with more intention? What if I followed up? What if I wasn't worried about what they were going to think about me, but worried about who might I help? Like the lady that Loretta mentioned, you don't even know the ways that might impact someone. So don't hold that back. If you're feeling that urge of like, I think this might help, just be real and say, I don't know if you'd be interested or not, but this might help. Do you want me to send you some information? 9 times out of 10, people are going to be like, yeah, send me the information and then follow up. I just wanted to put this out there because I know if you're showing up on this Success Kickoff 2026 call, I know you have a goal. I know you have a vision of what you want your life to look like. And maybe you're not there yet, right? We have a ways to go. I wish it was an elevator to success, but I want to be really real. And I like to be really real with people that no matter what it is you're trying to get to, there are ups and downs. There are lessons to learn. Business growth requires personal growth along the way. Every single level, there is a lesson that you need to work through. Maybe it is getting out of your comfort zone and using your voice, saying yes and figuring it out later. Maybe it is handling rejection. Whatever it is, it's worth it. It's worth it for the people we can help. It's worth it for our own growth and what we can create for our family. But I really want to urge everyone on this call to focus on what's in your control, because I think it's so human and it is so common that we can get caught up with what is that person doing? Why isn't that person doing anything over here? What's happening here? None of that is going to help you or anyone around you. That is just your ego. That is blame, shifting the discomfort off of yourself and where your true power lies and putting it on someone else. We don't want to do that. We're not in our comfort zones here. We are in growth and we are going to focus on what is in our control and in our power. And step by step, little by little, change by change, that makes big mountains and big ripples. And having that mindset moving forward is so key because we are positioned for great growth. There's so much more to come with Juice Plus that's so exciting. Superfood, cannot wait. This has been already shared in the US. It is so successful. So it's another way to get our Juice Plus essentials into more people who might not want to take capsules or can't do the chewables. And it's just easier to get it in this way. Or just to have, I mean, I'm just going to have it. I have all of the products and I just can't wait to get this. We also have our super biome, which is the probiotic prebiotic. Love that as a gut health professional. Also, a lot of people take probiotics already. A lot of you guys take probiotics. Isn't that amazing? We're going to be able to offer that to people. So that is coming. And at the end of the day, our job is to go out and inspire one simple change. And that compounds over time for ourselves and for others. So be that light. Do one simple change for yourself and have that shine. And if I can just end with a quote, it is that you can get everything you've ever wanted if you just help enough people get what they want. So I'm going to end with that and I'm going to pass it over back to Stephen.
Amazing. Thank you, Sarah. Let's show Sarah some love and in the chat. Wow, I learned a ton. And I feel like what I love about our community, people like Sarah who pour their heart and soul into this, educate us. We lead with product education. And for years and years, just being able to show up at events like this and learn just things we can apply to our everyday life and then help gift that to other people, again, to help them and their health. Sarah, amazing job. And let's give some more love to Loretta, way outside the comfort zone and crushed it and poured her heart in and what she's doing to build this Juice Plus business and how she's showing up successfully. Love it, love it, love it.